Hello, my name is Fox and you're watching Den of Fools. Let's jump right in.
In week 6 of 2025, we had 123 tournaments, with a total of 2,679 players and 9,829 games played. This week we have a fair few more tournaments than last time, with a lot more players and games played as well. This is thanks to some big tournaments compared to last week, such as the 199 player Beachhead Brawl. This is the last week before we should see the Eldari see play as the first new Codex of 2025. With that said, this week the Space Marines topped the charts with 23 wins, 60 top 3s and a weight base of 20.7. This is a slight improvement on the 23.8 they got last time, which isn't too surprising considering there are a lot more tournaments. As always, we will cover the individual chapters later on in the Space Marine chapter breakdown. Chaos Demons are in second place with 10 wins, 24 top 3s and a weight base of 11.1. They continue to be one of the dominant factions right now, at least until we see the new Codexes on the tabletop. The other Codex coming soon is the Guard, who get third this time with 9 wins, 27 top 3s and a weight base of 13.1. We won't see the new Codex see general play until early March, as they are still on pre-order for another week. The Death Guard come next with 8 wins, 18 top 3s and a weight base of 9, which is the second best overall. They continue to show some good form, although they only had 1 win at the large tournaments. Chaos Space Marines are next with 7 wins, 20 top 3s and a weight base of 14.7, which is a good result for them. Tau are the last faction in blue, also getting 7 wins with 15 top 3s and a weight base of 10.1, which is the third best this week. The Necrons top the green group with 6 wins, 29 top 3s and a weight base of 18.8. They are followed by Custodies, who also have 6 wins, with 23 top 3s and a weight base of 18.5. The World Eaters are the final faction on 6 wins with 18 top 3s and a weight base of 12.2, which is a good result for them. The Eldari get 5 wins with 13 top 3s and a weighted base of 15.6. This result is a lot lower than what it did last time, but I'm sure it will all change anyway once the new Codex sees play. The Legions of Votan get 5 wins with 7 top 3s and a weight base of 8.6, which is the best overall. Due to their small player base, they are able to get a very good weighted placing from a few wins. The 3 remaining factions in green all have 4 wins, being ranked by the number of top 3 placings. Imperial Knights get 16 top 3s with a weighted base of 19.5. The Orcs get 13 top 3s and a weight base of 28.3, while the Grey Knights get 1 less top 3 and a weight base of 12.8. There are 7 factions in yellow this time, with between 3 and 1 wins. The Imperial Agents do have a very low weighted placing, but doesn't really compare against all the other factions as they only had 5 players. Sisters get some results at the smaller tournaments, which is better than what they had been doing. Their player base has dropped significantly, which has helped them get a good weighted placing of 12. This week the Admech are the only faction in red, missing out on a win. 22 factions managed at least 1 top 10 placing, with the Space Marines getting the most top 10s with 204. Custodians in second with 79 top 10 placings. Necrons were in third on 78 top 10 placings. The Space Marines are the most played faction with 19.11% of all players taking them. Necrons are the second most popular on 6.12%. Orcs were in third on 5.86%. The Necrons are back in second, with the Orcs surprisingly jumping into third.
It takes our resident stats guru and Ultramarine fanboy Fearless Fox many hours to collect all the data. It would be great if you could show your appreciation by liking and sharing the video. It really helps us with the God algorithm of YouTube. We have grouped the win rates by colour, with the key at the bottom of the screen.
This week, Chaos Demons topped the charts with an impressive win rate of 56.7%, making them the only faction outside the Goldilocks zone. They have been very close to the top since the last balance update, so it's not too surprising they are top of the pile this week. The Death Guard are the first faction within the Goldilocks zone, backing up their good performance in the placings with a win rate of 53.7%, which is a decent improvement on what they did last week. The Thousand Sons come next with a win rate of 52.7%. I did state their result of 56.8% last time was a bit strange, but they have backed this up with another win rate above 50%, suggesting that players have managed to find some competitive builds. We'll have to keep an eye on them to see if they continue to perform well. The Custodians are next with a win rate of 51.3%, which is around what they have been doing for a few weeks now. The Drukhari are the last faction in green, with a win rate of 50.9%. The vast majority of factions are in yellow, with most of them getting in the Goldilocks zone. Imperial Knights top the group with a win rate of 49.9%, followed by Admech on 48.6%. Chaos Knights have a win rate of 48.2%, with the Necrons getting a win rate of 47.9. Chaos Space Marines are on 47.6, with Space Marines overall and World Eaters on 47.3%. The Tyranids are on 47.2, before we take a big drop to the Eldari on 45.9. They have dropped back from their win rate just over 50% last time, but it will all change for them next week anyway, for better or worse. The Tower Orcs have a win rate of 45.7%, which this is on 45.6, which is a welcome change for them, even if they are just within the Goldilocks zone. The Legions of Photon have a win rate of 45.5, despite doing so well in their weighted placing. The Grey Knights are just below the zone on 44.2, followed by the Gene Sealers on 43.1. This is a very surprising result, considering the Gene Sealers were top for the previous 2 weeks, and they got a 62% win rate last time. They were carried by their 76.9% win rate in the smaller tournaments, which they haven't been able to replicate. Imperial Agents are the only faction in red, with a win rate of 39.3%. Chaos Demons are still at the top of the running total win rates, with an impressive 55.8%. They have slightly increased their lead after this week's result, and are still the top faction overall. The Imperial Knights remain in second place with a win rate of 52.5%. The Death Guard have moved up after some good performances. They now have a win rate of 52.1%. Custodians have a win rate of 51.8%. This is a slight drop for them. The Gene Sealers have dropped back a lot after their poor week. They are now on 50.9%. The Necrons just get in the green group with a 50% win rate. The vast majority of factions are in the Goldilocks zone, with only 2 factions below. The Tau have a win rate of 44.5, with the Sisters at the bottom with a win rate of 39%. It'll be interesting to see how the new Codexes change the meta, with Chaos Demons going especially well at the moment. The Death Watch topped the charts this week with an impressive win rate of 52.8%. The Unknown Codex chapters are next, with a win rate of 48.7%, with by far the most players now. The Space Wolves see a good improvement on last time, with a win rate of 48.3%. The Blood Angels get a win rate of 47.5%, which includes a win at the Beachhead Brawl, a 199-player tournament. The list did take no Blood Angel units to take advantage of the improved Oath of Moment within their detachment. The Black Templars just get in the Goldilocks zone, with a win rate of 45%. The Dark Angels are the only chapter below the zone this week, with a win rate of 42%. As is now the norm, the Codex chapters lead the way in terms of placings with 10 wins and the most top 10s. The Blood Angels are performing well in terms of placings with 6 wins. The Dark Angels get 4, with the Space Wolves on 2 and the Black Templars on 1. The Space Marines continue to get wins at big tournaments, showing that they can put out some very competitive army lists. The Death Watch extend their lead of the running total win rates. They are now on 51.4%. The Blood Angels are in second on a win rate of 48.7%. The Codex chapters come next on 48.1%, followed by the Black Templars on 45.3%. The Space Wolves just managed to get into the Goldilocks zone with a win rate of 45.1%. The Dark Angels are now the only chapter out of the zone with a win rate of 43.9%. Chaos Space Marines and the Emperor's Children both have a win rate of 47.5%.
If you enjoyed our content, please subscribe, check out one of the videos on screen, and consider using our affiliate links in the description. Thank you for watching.